I'm Rajvi Agarwal from Shriram College of Commerce, and I'm really glad to be here to be able to share my CUET experience with all of you. I hope all of you are doing well. So, first things first, please do not be nervous about the exam. It is obviously really a really important part of your entire college life, but in the end, the only thing which matters is how much efforts do you put in, right? So just stay calm during the entire process. So most of you must have already chosen your subjects by now, and I hope that you all have done it wisely, keeping in mind your interests, because in the end, your subject scores will determine your entire CUET score as well as the university which you get into. The first thing which is really important is consistency. If each of you think that, oh, if I start studying a week before the exam, I may be able to perform well, it this may not work well in each case. So be consistent throughout the process, given time each day starting from now on. If you prepare well for your boards, 90% of your work is done because CUET is based on CBSE board syllabus, right? So if you are preparing well for your boards, you are already good to go. But after your boards are over, after necessary break, again, do start your revision for CUET. For the CBSE kids, all of you in CBSE board, it is comparatively easier for you because the syllabus inclines, it matches a bit. But for the ISC students, there are some portions which are not really covered in your syllabus, and you have to really prepare additionally for those parts. So I would say that that requires a little extra effort, and do not leave those portions. Even for the CBSE students, there may be some portions in your deleted syllabus, like maybe a certain portion X has been deleted, but that does not mean that that cannot come in your CUET exam. So even study those portions, do not leave out anything. Let's come to English first. So for English, vocabulary is very important. What you can do is prepare a sort of diary or maybe an exercise book where you add maybe 10 new words that you've learned each day, or maybe you can practice synonyms and antonyms for every word, because the CUET English paper is mostly unseen passages, synonyms, antonyms, and word meanings. So if you are good with your vocabulary, you can honestly easily crack the English paper. There are a lot of resources on the internet. Please make use of those. Use those resources to study, practice mock papers. Unseen passages are really important. Many of you, we have this notion in mind कि हाँ unseen passage आएगा, उसमें कुछ practice का need नहीं है, we'll do it. But it doesn't work that way. You have to time yourself, because sometimes time can be an issue. Maybe exam ke time pe, when you're actually sitting in front of the screen writing your paper, you may think, oh, I have less time now. So you have to increase your reading speed as well. Coming to maths, not all of you are appearing for maths, but those who are, the maths paper is moderately difficult, right? So maths requires practice every day, maths and accountancy, if you're appearing for it. What I would say is prioritize. At this point, all of you know, right? कि हाँ ये मेरा weak subject है और ये मेरा strong subject है. If you've segregated that already, you know कि this is one subject you have to focus on. So for example, if mathematics is your weak point, please make sure that you study 1 hour minimum maths every day along with the other subjects. So if you're giving maybe an hour to accountancy on Monday, an hour to business studies on Tuesday, make sure maths happens daily with that. Right. So prioritizing is really, really important. Make sure you're thorough with NCRT. NCRT is really important. Appear for mocks, practice papers, keep reading the chapters. I know it can get boring, but you have to be thorough with what each and every line has to say in the chapter. Comprehend it well, practice the back questions. It's an MCQ based paper, so just keep solving and time yourself each time you solve those papers. Uh, Also, breaks are really important. Don't burn yourself out. If you're studying 10-15 hours a day every day for a month, in the end you're going to be very overwhelmed and exhausted, and that won't work well for you, right? So make sure that if you've studied for let's say 2 to 3 hours, go for a walk, take a break, maybe watch something for 10-15 minutes, because it's really important to take breaks. It's important for your mental health, because if you're continuously just focusing on one thing for 2 months, not giving yourself the break that you require, it can honestly lead to burnouts, and it can be bad for your mental health. It's really important to always prioritize your mental health as well. This is really important. What I'm about to say is that, see, many of your friends will be appearing for CUET, right? You'll hear from this person, ki, haan, maybe even I'm going to give the exam. And every person prepares differently. The way I prepare is different, from the way you prepare. So do not ever compare yourself. Of course, you can ask your friends for guidance, for tips, कि हाँ कौन सी book solve करनी है या कहाँ से papers करने हैं. But never ever compare yourself कि हाँ उसने 4-5 book solve कर ली है, मैंने एक की है. Does not matter. If you think with one book, with one complete book, or with 2 books, you are well prepared, does not put you in a lower position than your friend who has solved 4 to 5 books. And trust me, this happened with me. So I can say this out of experience, that please do not compare yourself, because in the end, you'll only start feeling really low, and you'll start feeling bad about it. कि हाँ उसने इतना किया है, मैंने इतना भी नहीं किया है, मेरा एग्जाम अच्छा नहीं जाएगा. That is absolutely not true. So please keep all of these things in mind, because these are really important. And please stay calm and composed during the entire process. Panicking will not help. Talk to your family members, talk to your teachers, reach out to people, ask them about their experience. During my the 1 month that I had to prepare for CUET, I used to go out, but I also used to keep a very good balance. Time management is the key. Make sure you put in time for the subjects you are weak at, because in the end, those subjects do matter, right? So, and I also hope all of you have filled your subject preferences wisely, because those subjects in the end will determine your score. Also, there may be confusion about the general test. The general test is not at all compulsory, and it's not required for most of the courses. Like, if supposedly you're aiming for Shri Ram College of Commerce, to get in you need the score of English plus maths or accounts plus 2 other subjects for BCom honors. So general test is nowhere required. But for general test, you need to be, I did appear for my general test, so you need to be very thorough with the news, a few general facts which you should know, which you are expected to know, some important days, for example, World Environment Day, or something of that sort. Uh, Apart from that, I think if you just, it all honestly depends on time management, how well you give in your time, how well you prioritize, you know where to concentrate, you know where to not concentrate. So depends on that. And one thing, please make use of the internet. It has a lot of resources. It can be of a lot of help. So do keep that in mind. And please do not at any point feel demotivated. Monali, to answer your questions, like I said, the board syllabus, if you are from any board, ISC, CBSC, it really overlaps with CUET, right? So after your boards, make sure you take a good amount of break. Like, I didn't study for a week after my boards because I thought I deserved that break, right? So for 1 week, maybe you can take a break, or for 5 days, whatever suits you, and then start studying again. And honestly, it's not like you have to cover everything again, because you've already done all of these things, right? Because if you're studying for your boards, all you need to do is revise and focus on your weak subjects. So if you're putting in 4 to 5 hours of studying daily minimum, you're good to go. You can do everything else. You can go out, you can go for walks, you can give yourself breaks. Just make sure you're not leaving it all for the last moment, because it doesn't work well for many people. Just don't be like, कि हाँ एक हफ्ते पहले exam is 1 week, exam is 2 months later. So if I start after around 45 days, I think it will be fine. You need to keep revising, because we can't retain everything, right? So if any of you have any questions, you're free to ask. Unmute yourself. You can ask, or you can write. So see, after you give your CUET, the same portal will release your scores after about a month, and after that there'll be the following procedure about your college preferences, and you know, like after you basically have your CVT score, you will know the position where you are, where which colleges you have a chance of getting into, and according to that you apply for your preferences. Based on those preferences you get your allotments. So everything is very systematic, and you'll understand everything once you get your CVT score, so you don't have to worry about that.